Hey there everyone, welcome back to another Ark Survival Ascended video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy. This is the Game Vault. My dude, I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of dancing right now. The thing is, he really has to pee, and I told him he can do it after this intro. So let's cue up the music and we'll get right to it. Alright, we're feeling much better right now. So what I want to do today is, it's going to be a quick video showing you my semi-automated garden and how that works. I am using a mod here that impacts this. It's called QOL Plus. That's Quality of Life Plus. And what that is it's been adapted over from the Structures Plus mod for Ark Survival Evolved. And it brought a lot of things over that weren't already brought over in-game. A lot of the concepts and things that Structures Plus did in Ark Survival Evolved have made it over, but not all of them. And so this brought us a few of those things. Now, we're growing some crops in here. I don't grow a lot. I've got 2 of each veggie. I've got 1 of each basic berry, and I think I might have 1 or 2 stem berries in here. Let's see. Yeah, 2 stem berries, I think. And then I've got 6 or 8 narco berries, just because, you know, sometimes you want to make a whole bunch of narcotics for different reasons. We're not going to talk about that here. I am Heisenberg. But in any case, so these, I don't have to ever come in here and fill these up with any kind of fertilizer. I don't ever have to come in and pick anything out of them. I don't have to do anything because of the QOL Plus mod, which I highly recommend if you want to automate your game to a certain degree. Now, call it what you will. This is, you know, I've played a lot of Ark. I've grown a lot of vegetables and berries and all that, and it gets to be tedious after a while. And eventually it's a struggle just to go pick a single berry out. You know, look at that. We got 2, right? 3. All right. But in any case, yeah, it becomes a struggle to have to do that after a while. So this whole process requires 4 different things. 2 of them you get right out of the game itself. One is the Phiomia here, and he's kind of like the first step, right? This guy poops a lot when you feed him stem berries, so that's why I grow those stem berries, so we can go ahead and make him poop a lot. And as you can hear, he's pooping away. All kinds of poop. But what's happening to that poop? It's just disappearing right away, right? Well, that's because of his best friends here, his 4 compatriots. Snoop Dogg Poo, Will Scatner, and then you got Forrest Dump, and of course, Leo DiCaprio. So what these guys do is they automatically pick up the poop, and they turn it into fertilizer over time. As they do that, they also create oil as a byproduct, so it's a very nice situation to have. You're basically getting free oil. This guy's already got a couple in here. You're basically getting free oil every day from these guys as they process this poop. Now, I recently went in and cleaned out... Oh, he just crapped one on his own. I recently went in and cleaned out all of their fertilizer because they just had way too much in them. And I'll show you what the next step of this whole thing is. But we're going to make a whole bunch more poop, get them to be making more fertilizer. And basically, I just want to be able to... Alright, we're tossing that. So, yeah. Alright, so that is part 1, right? He craps it out, these guys grab it, and they turn it into yummy, delicious fertilizer. Part 2 is this fella right here. This is our farmer, the QOL farmer. He takes this fertilizer. He picks it up out of the beetles and holds on to it, and he will distribute it into these crop plots. Now, he doesn't fill them up all the way. He gets them full to like 8. I guess he leaves room for the berries or the fruit and 1 seed. I guess that's how he works. I honestly don't know what it is there, but you do have some options with him. You can right now I'm currently showing his range, which is pretty good. Let's take a look at it actually. You can see where he's centered there. He reaches almost all the way to the house. you know, in a good distance out in the water there. My plan is to move this guy and get him somewhere between us and the house, maybe on this bridge, which is eventually going to be something cool. Just started working on it today. But put him out there somewhere so he can actually cover this and the house, so he will be able to fill up the plant species X that's on the house, hopefully, if I get this right. If not, then, you know, it'll be what it'll be. But that's the goal, at least. Some of the other changes you can make to them are things you could do. You can disable the distribution if you don't want him to distribute it. If you don't want him to collect it, you can do that to get his inventory down a little bit. Demolish him, rename him, pin code, you know, all that kind of stuff, access his inventory. And we can pick him up and move him, of course. And when we're inside here, you know, you got those same choices right here. Disable, fertilizer, distribution, collection, and you can just deactivate them completely. Kaolian soup is required to get this guy to operate. That's kind of like his fuel, his gasoline, however you want to look at it. But that's what makes him run. So if you make a bunch of that up and fill him up with it, and, you know, just kind of keep an eye on it. I haven't really been monitoring to see how long Kaolian soup lasts or how long it fuels him up for. I'm kind of curious about that. But he's got a pretty good spoil time on it. I mean, we're looking at 18 days, 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 57 seconds right there. So, yeah. That's a long time before it spoils, so you don't have to worry about it rotting in him. So he's step 3, right? Step 1, Phiomia. Step 2, dung beetles. Step 3, this fella right here. And last but not least is step 4. This is our QOL gardener. Now let's go ahead. Did we turn off his range? We didn't. I'm having trouble. There we go. So let's turn her range on real quick. And yes, she does have a massive rack on her. I didn't design her. Alright, so we're showing her range now. See, it's kind of funky. They're kind of wonky. I guess porting them over, they're not perfect yet. Did that work? And I fell in the water. Yeah, I honestly don't see the range on her yet. Let me get back up there. But it's similar to his. I've gotten it working before. And what she does now, we'll go into her inventory. She collects everything out of these crop plots on a regular basis. Now, you have an ignore list and a destroy list as well if you want to destroy certain things. Like, let's say you don't want the seeds, you know, that you don't want seeds. You can view a destroy list and items to destroy. You can, boom, seeds. Let's go ahead and do all that, and I'll show you what happens. Yeah, savroot, and then we've got a couple more. Stemberry, tinto, and verdberry. So that's all the seeds, right? Close. And now she should not collect those anymore, from my understanding. Or actually, she should destroy them, right? Anyway. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to work, at least. I don't know. I haven't messed with that yet. But she runs on beer. And beer doesn't spoil, so you don't have to worry about that. So I did have to prep up for her and make a couple of beer kegs. But of course, the only thing it takes to make beer is berries and thatch. So she's a constant source of berries. As you can see, we've got a butt ton of narco berries built up. We had a whole bunch of stem berries. I just put him in the pig over there because he was, I wanted to demonstrate him pooping and all that. But she'll pick all this stuff up, and then you can just come over at any time, pick and choose what you want to take out of her system, or out of her inventory. In this case, it's just going to be the vegetables right now for me, and I can head out on my merry way and go put them in the fridge, turn them into soups or kibble or whatever else I want to make. And yeah, let these guys continue their job and do that. So that's just the basics of my semi-automated garden. I'm totally digging it. I think it takes a lot of the tedium out of playing Ark. Is it cheaty? I don't know. Does it give me an advantage? Yeah, it kind of gives me an advantage because I can walk over here and have thousands of berries, basically. You know, if I planted more of these, and I kind of plan on doing that, I may never have to go out and harvest berries again to fill up my troughs and all that. I could just come in here and grab them off of her and then go ahead and put them in the troughs, which I'll probably end up doing down the road because we will have more room here. And I'm going to try to move her out here as well, not so much because I need her to cover the house or anything like that for the plant species X. No, she won't impact them, but just for the ease of gathering everything. If I get her and him out there, I'll really never need to come back up here except once in a while to throw a little bit of food on the Phiomia here. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'll take half of these off of him, and we'll just do. So as you can see, his food stack goes down when you pump those berries in him. See how much more he can take now. I got most of them. So yeah, he'll eat up those veggies, and that'll get his food back up. That's really the only thing you really have to worry about here. The beetles can pretty much last forever without food. I think they eat spoiled meat. Eventually, there will be a trough here. My long-term plans for this area include a water base and a big workshop area out here. I want to move the workshop from inside the longhouse to the outside. So that'll be kind of cool. We'll have to see how that works out. As you can see, this is just... that's basically the guideline for this bridge slash a workshop that's going to be built on the way out here when everything gets put together. This is just the beginning of it. It's going to be pretty big. It's going to be pretty cool looking. It's going to be pretty awesome. So, yeah, keep your eyes open here, guys, and we'll see everything as it develops down the road. So, anyway, if you found this useful at all or entertaining, if you kind of like those QOL mods, you know, there's a lot to them. There's nannies. There's a lot of the equipment can be replaced, like there's refrigerators, dehydrators, stuff like that. There's a whole lot of things in that QOL Plus mod. And if you're looking... what's he doing? If you're... that was weird. If you're looking to make your experience a little more... less tedious, then I highly recommend QOL Plus because it can really help you out a lot. And you can pick and choose what you use. If all you wanted was that, then use it. They got a grinder that's kind of ridiculous. It could do all kinds of stuff. I told the guys, don't make the grinder. It's that one's a little OP. You know, being able to make prime meat and prime fish out of regular fish and regular meat, yeah, it's kind of OP. And there's other things it can do that are a little, like, on the iffy side. But otherwise, it's cool. I'll show you something else that we're working on right now real quick before we wrap it up, and that is the Megatherium army. Look at that big green one. He stands out like a sore thumb. He was a mutation. I think we got an imprint on that guy. Yeah, he was a mutation, so... and he was actually the first one born. But these guys, I'm going to be raising up 20 of them. They have the best health. They have the best melee from the 2 Megatherium that we have. This was the third one we caught, but we're turning him into bait, and we're going to use him for something else later on down the line. He had no good stats that were better than either of those, or either of the 2 that we caught. These 2 got the best health and the best melee on them, so we've been breeding them together to get this little army. We're going to make 20 of them to fight the Gamma Broodmother down the road, hopefully within a week or 2 at the most. Maybe shortly after Christmas, maybe somewhere right around Christmas and New Year, we should be prepped up for. In a couple days, I expect to have 20 of these all grown up. And the only thing we're really missing for them, you know, yeah, I want to mutate and all that, but I'm not going to do that for the Gamma. I think we could do the Gamma on straight up basic Megatherium, especially if we get a decent saddle blueprint. So I got all the guys looking for decent saddle blueprints, but that, like I said, that's down the road a little bit. So anyway, let's wrap this up. Thanks for joining me, everyone. As always, I'm Captain Beefy. This is the Game Vault. We will see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. Until next time, peace.